What are we doing? We are at another episode. Is this a fantastic episode or what?
Season 4.
Yes, season 4. We're going to cover something simple but forgotten that people don't probably know.
I want a reference for people that call me and say, hey,
some of the right procedures to tear down and pack a machine up before you move it.
Hey, do you guys move a game?
You want to move games?
No, I want a reference where I can send people when they call.
Yeah.
Because I get that call 2 or 3 times a week. Hey, do you guys move games?
Yeah.
And the answer is usually, no, I'm not interested,
No, we're not a moving company.
because you can't afford it. I mean, the labor rates, your labor rate is your service labor rate,
And plus, we're not a moving company.
and that doesn't really.
Now, it takes 2 people generally to move a machine. If you're by yourself, bad things can happen,
Don't
even
do it.
to light machines. Pardon?
Right.
Yeah.
2 people, preferably 3.
Yeah, no. 2.
Well, if you got steps involved,
Yeah, if it's an awkward machine, like a jukebox is marginally heavier than most pinballs. Or if it's like this Coney Island, which is marginally larger than most arcade games, you'd probably want 3, yeah. So, but you need multiple people, and imposing on the owner to do it is, most of the time they don't want to do that. Or it's a lady and she don't want to get involved in that.
Sure.
So you really need 2 people when you move these things. If you do it by yourself, it involves a lot of balance. It involves trying to get through a doorway with a machine that, you might have a doorway like this where the door closes, you know what I mean? Screen doors in houses. So one person, it's just a lot more to do. They have these escaleras, which are, this company, Escalera, makes hand trucks that are motorized, and they aid in the taking a machine up and down steps. But that isn't but a little bit of the whole scenario to move one of these, and it offers no help to prepare it to move it. So it's all a small piece. Yeah.
The person that calls that asks, do we move pinball machines, and I'm going to refer them to this video on how to do it. They're not going to have an Escalera.
No.
What are they going to need?
They're going to need a hand truck.
Okay.
Preferably one with tires of a diameter around 8 or 10 inches, air tires. Them little hard tire carts, the little tiny, they're too small. The general hand truck with air tires tends to be a certain height, and the handle and the top of the cart will at least be within a foot of the top of the pinball machine. Because if you get a small cart, you're reaching down in, you know what I mean? So you need a decent hand truck.
Okay.
That would be the first tool you'd probably need to move it. And they are made to move by taking the head off of an older machine, and then you have 2 pieces. The newer machines, they went to a hinge design, so you use a piece of padding.
Okay, we're going to show both of those. I guess
yeah,
let's run this one full way through, and then we can explain the differences.
You pad the head when you fold it down, and then you shrink wrap the machine.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll go into this.
We'll get to that. Okay. I have a hand truck. Now what else do I need? I got 2 people and a hand truck.
You need shrink wrap.
Not for that, I don't.
No. It depends what machine we're talking about moving. But
Okay, we're talking about this one.
well, I don't know. What else would you want? You need a wrench for the leg bolts.
Okay, well you need a wrench.
5/8 or 9/16 or both, depending on it.
More than likely both.
And then once you get into the back box, you're going to need to... I like taking pictures of the wiring if you're going to unwire this, rather than labeling it or marking it.
Okay.
But you're going to need to mark the wiring so you get it back on. Or at least have consideration to have the new owner have a shot at not blowing the thing up.
Okay, I have my hand truck. I have my 5/8 and 9/16 wrench. There's the machine. What am I doing?
You're first taking the glass out.
Okay, I like that.
And then you want to take the pinball out.
That makes sense.
Or as many pinballs that are in it, 1, 3, whatever's in it. Because you don't want to let the pinball in the game. It will come out of the out-hole area and bang into stuff and break things.
Yes. Note, you normally want to shut the door before you slide the glass out, or you'll scratch the glass on the top corner of the glass. Or of the door.
Yeah, if you've not done this before, you want to do that.
Not on this particular model, but on some others it will.
Yeah, well, on most of the other newer ones, because if you note, the coin door is mounted up higher. And the reason for that is when you pull the glass out, it tends to sag with the weight, and it'll catch this
Corner and scratch
yeah,
it.
and it'll scratch your glass. Now, if you've done it before and you know how to do it,
You
know
lift up,
better than-
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
For somebody that's not done it before, so
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
is this
Yeah, guess what? You can't get to them. The release is underneath the apron.
oh,
Good.
on this particular piece? Let me see.
Here's what I do in this case.
However you want,
Get the balls out of it.
get the balls out. Some machines are different than others that way. If you cannot get the balls out of the machine and you feel you're technically challenged with that operation, you can take some shrink sleeve or some cloth and put it in the out hole and put some here.
Yes.
And it will block the pinballs from coming out.
Okay.
That's a lot simpler than telling somebody to do this.
Well, yes.
I don't know. Season 4 could be interesting. He's laughing. All right.
All right. You got the balls out of it.
Got the balls out.
That wasn't that tough.
In this case, yeah, that was challenging.
Yeah, should have been. Look inside your game.
Make sure you have no junk.
Crap floating around.
You're probably going to want to take the coin box and the crap out of the game.
Yes.
And after you've inspected it to make sure that no metal or crap will come onto the electronics when it's plugged back in and cause a simple problem like, well, you know, it worked here and it blew up when you got it. Well, you must have done something.
Something was
Why
floating
not
around in there.
do it right so you save everybody aggravation? Seller, buyer, everything.
Nice.
Right?
I agree.
That would be the end of that operation.
Okay. This is going really efficiently.
Okay.
Jeff 4130, which is chrome moly, by the way.
I like that.
Hey guys, how about doing a beer chat about what you find in the field? While doing video in the field would be just great. I think he wants us to drink on the job.
Beer chat? What does that mean? Having a beer and chatting in the field at somebody's place?
Could turn it into a Todd Work drinking room. Also, have you guys won any awards? If not, I can send you one laminated.
Oh, here we go. He's
So
picking
it would
one
be-
for Todd's drinking.
Okay, balls are out, crap's out of the inside. Are we done yet?
No, I'm not done.
Oh my god.
I'm going to put the glass back in and we're going to...
How many episodes is season 4 gonna go?
That's up to you. Every Friday, isn't it?
Alright. I think you might need something from in there.
Yeah, where are they? You're going to need the keys. Most machines have what they call a back box key, which is different than the coin door key.
Usually.
Some
Sometimes.
machines don't have any key and you just take the thing and open it.
Well, yeah, we don't want to even get into that.
Okay.
If you're moving that machine, fix it before you move it.
Ah.
That's kind of advanced.
Now Mike has done something nice with it. He's made something better to retain this glass in this particular machine.
Yeah, you don't.
Now let's
really-
skip that because this is unique.
Yeah,
to
that's
this.
not really. Yeah. For those for the novice, we're working on a 1980-ish Gottlieb.
Right. Star Series.
It's
Mars.
I guess it's a System 8. This is a System 80 game.
Yes.
Because after this will be the fold down heads. This
Right.
is probably this is the very end of the two-piece. Take it apart to move it.
Correct.
There are advantages and disadvantages to both.
True.
These are actually a lot easier to move around.
Breaking the weight up.
As far as physically they're easier to move, but as far as the steps required, there are more.
This is an advanced machine compared to the easier one-piece. Yes.
Fold down head, right? Okay, so now you got whatever's going on in here.
Well, in any machine that the head comes off, you've got cabling that connects the head to the cabinet. So you're going to have to separate the two so you can get the head away from the machine. Balley's different, Williams is different, Gottlieb is different. So each machine is going to be different when you go to do it. And I imagine, to answer your question, Mike, people want the thing moved because they don't want to get into the technical aspect of all this.
It's not that hard.
If a seller is selling a machine, they don't want to be beholden to it. The buyer would rather have the seller do it, the work. So it's kind of, you do it, no, I'll do it, no, you do it.
Well, we're providing somebody, hopefully, with an alternative to paying somebody to do it for them.
Anyway, what you're going to want to do is uncable the back box from the cabinet. It depends on which platform you're working. There's 3 different types of
Right, your Balleys, your Balleys, your Williams, and your Gottliebs are all going to be
mainstream.
similar.
There's 3. You've got Chicago Coin. You got variants of other games. You know, we got Atari.
Now, don't do what that somebody did to that haunted house in Philly.
Oh yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Don't take wire cutters and cut the
don't
cable.
cut that.
Yeah.
Move it. That'd be bad.
That would be really quick. No, it's more painful than that. You actually have to take these apart, and these are all down in the machine, so you cannot go down in the machine to get the other end of this out. Everything has to be done here.
Okay.
Okay. In this case. Okay.
So look at what you're doing, because there's always going to be a connector there. You don't have to cut anything unless maybe somebody soldered wires to the board, and if that's
Take a few off. Generally, they are labeled by size and designation. Like this is board A1 in a Gottlieb, and then A3 is your driver board, and so on. So really, you don't have to go nuts and duct tape these and mark them.
they already are,
Yeah, it's not that bad.
and they only fit in one place.
And you got to remember, this was a commercial machine made to be moved, and it was made to, they've gone out of their way, these manufacturers, not just Gottlieb, they've gone out of their way to make sure that you cannot reach a plug that this will fit in, out of its place.
Right.
Okay? So don't be afraid of it. You don't have to, if you're really scared of it, take a couple pictures with your phone and, some close-ups, and
Yep.
you'll get detail.
You'll be fine.
Okay? All right.
Stock Jockey says he's the biggest fan of GRC and Mel.
Stock Jockey, yeah.
Bobby Joe Jack.
That isn't Bobby Joe Jack, though.
PBR.
Stock Jockey is not Bobby Joe
No,
Jack.
Stock Jockey is Tony.
Nice.
He says, I love Mel. She is beautiful and she knows how to play pinball.
And then here we have the disconnected wire bundle. And just place them back in the game. And when you get to where you're going, you pull them out after you put the head on through this service porthole here. The next step would be to take the bolts out of the head, which are 9/16 usually. They're hex head. And there's washers on them, and depending on the machine.
This is a good
sometimes
time to
you
have
have
2 people working with you too, because this weight
You
out
will
here,
want to take a hike.
this weight out here, so now's a good time to have 2 people.
Yeah, you can do it by yourself, but it's testy. Yeah.
I colored my hair this morning.
You'll do what?
Colored
Oh, yeah?
my stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I was looking kind of rancid and Mel was coming in. I'm just glad the glass didn't fall out. That took me half a day.
I broke one of them once.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't drop it. It was just torqued, and it was twisted, or it just was stressed, and it just blew up. By the way, if you stress these glasses, the cabinet or back box glasses, they're tempered, and they will actually just explode. They don't crack. They just blow up.
Don't set them on cement.
No, anything to stress them. And if you have stressed it before, and you are is there 3 or just 2?
I've never seen anything quite like this. This thing has a whole lot of head bolts.
I think it's got 6.
I see 2 over here.
Okay, well, there's 3 over here.
I didn't design it. There's a reason they went out of business first.
I got the head.
You want to talk about using an impact gun for any of this stuff?
Well, it's not a good idea. It stresses the threads, and they've been in and out so many times they're thin already. And a drill driver or any kind of electric impact gun is going to strip the threads sooner or later. The more you do it, the more it's going to do it. So if you're afraid to use hand tools, then keep using your impact drivers, and eventually you're going to strip a bunch of bolts here.
For God's sake, just please don't be in a hurry.
Well, that's the only reason to do that, is if you're in a hurry.
Don't be in a hurry. All right. Now you know that has a shipping lock as well. There it is.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so you just take your fancy tool there. I got the box. And this will cross over to the newer stuff too. So look for your little shipping.
It keeps this from opening up and hitting the glass. It'll either scratch paint, usually it's all it'll do, but you can break it.
Here it comes. All right.
Ready?
Yep.
Pull forward, that's the latch.
Okay, that part's ready.
Machines have what they designed in the cabinet as a metal lip. It's in the center. It appears to have no function, but there's another end of this on that head, and it slides under here.
Yes.
What that does is that allows a single person to assemble this without holding the head, because that lip.
So right, while I was there holding it, that was too.
Yeah, but now a lot of these machines have been passed on over the years, and they've been, well, they're old. They're 30 years old or more. A lot of this stuff's gone, so don't always assume the safety.
I see it's loose, by the way.
Yeah, don't always assume it's here. Okay.
What size is that?
It looks like 1132.
Something that needs attention, stop and do it. Right? This ain't gonna work. You need a wrench. What size did you say?
Preferably a socket with a ratchet.
Well, you're asking too much. I don't have that.
It's 1132. You hang the back box keys back in the cabinet for service use, because if these get lost, it is very annoying to try to get into a back box.
It's early in the morning, and I just hired my locksmith, Jim Swain.
Oh my God.
We're getting there. Jim's
right.
got it. He knows what he's doing.
I'm gonna go play that Austin Powers some more.
Everyone from the bar is peeking
It's
over
gonna
the
blow.
fence looking
I'm a
at
little,
It really
I'm a little
is.
shook
It's just
about
gonna
this,
open.
this back glass.
Mind your own fucking business!
So don't lose these. Don't put them with the coin door keys. They get lost. It's best to put them in the cabinet on the coin hook. It makes a simple thing bad. Yeah, here, you wear one.
While you're fucking with that, I'll go get the right size.
Yeah, all right, I was wrong, and they're 3/8. They're 3/8. Sorry.
I find that you put your tools away when you're done with them. They're there when you need them.
And then the last step in preparing the cabinet is to remove the coin door keys. If you leave them in while you're moving it, if they break off, that's annoying.
That's bad.
So take the keys out of the front door, because they will get bent. They bend once and break off the brass. That's yours.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
You don't have to do that yet, because I'm gonna... What you can do before you lift or prop this up is you can take 4 bolts out of each leg, 1 out of each leg, and that way you only have 4 to do. I like to do that because it makes the breakdown quicker after a while, being that you don't have to hold the game.
Mark Modre is excited.
And that doesn't need to be done that way. That's my habit.
Michael Magnuson is
Modre, what's he want?
He just is excited about the new season and stuff.
Okay.
Pete Bell.
Well, we're going to try to make some films of value. Basic tutorial, informational stuff that people could use. I don't know. I don't really want to get into anything extremely technical, although I might.
It doesn't do well. I don't know.
I think this is a good idea. This was Mike's idea.
I'm glad you like this.
I like Mike's idea.
You're going to like next week's
Mike's
too.
going to do all of it.
Waiting on you. This film is, we're almost out of film.
See, I told you you'd be too long.
No, we're cool.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'll wait on that.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's sweet.
If you have a device to prop this up, you can do this if you're by yourself.
I had one. It was ugly, so I threw it out when we moved that one time.
There is a company that makes one. I would not suggest getting it.
Okay.
I've seen more than one machine fall over because of it.
What's that thing that Alien Poker Bill has? He's got some funny looking prop thing too.
Yeah, that's the
Is
one.
that it?
Yes, don't get that.
Okay.
I've seen experienced pinball guys have games fall over with that.
Okay. Be careful, don't hurt your back at this point.
What we're doing here is we're putting it on the back, because on the back of the cabinet,
I'm coming. Yes, on the back of the cabinet.
all machines have, pinball machines have
Furniture slides.
cabinet furniture sliders, cabinet gliders. Okay, that's what they're for. They get the wood off the surface and they're nylon, so it slides around easier.
Yeah.
This is how you handle a machine. You don't put it on its side. You don't put it this way on the coin door and tilt it up. You tilt it this way.
Okay.
So when you take the back legs off, which you do first, by the way, on all pins, when you're moving them, after you get the head either wrapped to the game. By the way, if you have a fold down game, you've got to wrap the head before you.
Yes, we're going to do that next, Ray. We'll yank Johnny out and we'll show people what not to do there.
Stand it up, and then you take the front legs off.
Almost like rocket science.
And at this point, for you power tool guys, you'd be done already, which is fine. Do it. If you want to strip these bolts out. These, by the way, are grade 2 bolts, which is why you don't use electric or air tools on these.
The design of the legs, the way they mount, has always been bad.
It's a
It's very-
interference binding fit. Yeah, there's no washer surface here. You've got a head,
flat.
and you're going against. Well, there's nothing there. It's not even a flat surface. It's almost like a lock washer type thing.
Yeah.
So there's an extreme bind here.
Yeah.
The way it's designed. They could have done better.
Yes.
But
they still
just
have it.
remember, this is a coin-op device that was intended to make money, not
be cheap.
home entertainment.
Right.
This was a businessman's tool to make money, not to be.
Okay.
Because this is going far out of what it was intended for. But this is why designs like this go throughout this industry, because this stuff was not made to be. Well, the life cycle. It wasn't made to have this kind of life cycle. So, anyway, you can use tools on these if you want, impact tools, but be aware, these are grade 2 bolts. They won't go.
It's the wrong
very
idea. It shows that you're in a hurry and you're going to have a problem.
be aware, bolts are graded by hardness, by the way. A grade 2 is a very soft bolt.
Okay.
I'm just emphasizing it because I tell people over and over and they don't listen, and then leg plates get stripped.
Yeah.
If you strip leg plates, because those will strip first, plates will strip, good luck putting them in a game. It's hard work.
Just put nuts on the back like those other guys.
Well, that's hard work too, because you got to get in there and hold the nuts. It's a simple notion to save a problem, a headache. That's all. If you're in that much of a hurry to do it, you probably shouldn't have the thing anyway. Really. Did I badger to the point?
I don't know, I cleaned out, I've moved machines before. I like to put the parts in the parts bag. I like to put the balls in a different bag than the bolts so that the
Yes.
balls don't get scratched.
Right. So you have plastic bags. And then you can not lose your parts. And then if you have a coin bucket, you can put the stuff in there as well. So if you're moving them a lot, you have a neat, orderly way to do it, and it makes sense. Now with this done, you're ready to move the machine with a hand truck.
Off you go. You put it in the truck. Got a way to describe that?
Yeah, I like putting it in the truck with this end first, because when you go to unload the machine, it'll bring that end out first. You don't want to put this end in the truck first.
You square it up, you tilt it over, two guys pick it up, slide it in.
You want to put the front end in first.
Okay. Setting it up is exact opposite of what...
Opposite, reverse order.
Yes, just run it in exact...
Front legs on first, tilt it down.
Exactly backwards all the way through to the first step. Let's take a small break here, get that thing out of the way. We'll show them WPC Johnny, and we'll show them what happens if you don't foam the head. And then we'll show them how the head folds down on the Hobbit, because that's the same as like Daddy Eats Sega. Is Stern still doing that, I guess? Mm-hmm. Most of the Sterns are using that tool too. So we'll be right back, folks. Yes, I know what she's doing. I
Mike brought these out. Now these are what furniture glides look like. They are plastic caps with nails sealed in them. They're molded in them. You can get different colors. This one is a different height, but if yours is missing, you can replace these or put all 4 new ones.
Where do you get them?
You can get them at Pinball Resource, Marco, anybody, or you can get them at Lowe's, Home
Yeah, you can
Depot.
probably get them at Home Depot.
Yes.
Okay. Sweet. All right, we got a WPC here. What's different? We're not taking the legs off of this, but the rest of it we can do.
Yeah, the legs are the same as on the old machine.
Okay. So same setup. You're going to take the balls out. You're going to take the glass out. You're going to take the balls out.
Right.
You're going to check the inside, make sure there's no crap floating around in there.
Correct.
You're going to put the playfield back down. You're going to put the glass back in, the lockdown bar back on, door shut. You're going to need the back box key.
Correct.
You're going to go into the back box, which I guess is where we're going to have to start here, because we can't go into the back box without going into the back box.
Key.
Where it's supposed to be. There's a lock up there too. If your game doesn't have a lock there,
That's a shame.
yes, please.
Without this lock, this will take a hike and this will take a hike when you tilt the head
Yes,
down.
don't ask
One
us
of
how to
these-
move that without, because it's a nightmare.
On one of these games. All right.
Okay.
Next step is to take the glass out.
Yeah, before you get there, you're going to check for the head bolts, because it may or may not have them in there. It should, but it probably does not.
Most games except Gottlieb System 3's hinge from the left. Gottlieb figured they'd make it different and they hinge from the right.
Okay.
There is a hinge here.
Yes.
This is just a guide here, by the way.
Okay.
Because this is hinged and it's heavy, upper lower hinge point. This guide is like a
Support.
locator support, yeah.
Yes.
Because when you loosen this up, it might sag. That's what they've done that for.
Okay.
And then this has your electronics.
Yes.
This
Okay.
will come out.
Okay.
And for home use, you want to put one security bolt in one of these holes.
Okay. There's 2 holes for them.
Correct. Just one is good. Now on a location, because of the commercial aspect of it, they put 2.
Yeah.
And it's a wing bolt. It's a giant wing nut.
If your game doesn't have it,
You should have one. This head, when it's on the machine in the hinge position here, is actually over center. The weight is over center. If you don't have a latch on the back, which we'll show you in a minute, if you shake this enough and somebody's got their hands here, it may fall. It will break your hands. It will also dent the stainless steel rails pretty well. Is she eating everything? These have been known to fall. People get careless. They don't put security bolts. They don't have a hinge on the back. And
Say what?
it will fall and dent these stainless steel rails pretty well. Along with maybe making a mark on the wood.
Okay, security bolts. They're out. Okay, carry on.
Well, bring it back for the hinge and show.
Okay, well we're done in there,
Okay,
aren't we?
yeah. What you're going to want to do is put a little screw in this part here of the hinge. All this does, and you don't have to go nuts tighten it, all it does is keep the hinge from...
Same idea as the other, to keep it from falling into your back glass or
Yeah,
translate.
it'll unhinge and it'll scrape on the back glass, and if this is going in a truck for several miles, it will ruin the translate arc.
Or back glass, either or, whichever.
Right, correct.
Okay.
Do you want this back?
Uh,
No? Doesn't matter.
Well, we're going to fold the head down, so leave it locked. That's fine. Yeah. Where's that go?
It goes in here on a spring hook.
That's a good place for it.
It's a key hook, spring loaded.
Yes.
So next you want to choose your padding. I mean, some people use cardboard, triple folded
Okay.
or whatever,
I brought out
or
this
any
piece
kind
of-
of foam.
This piece of foam here.
What you're trying to do is prevent the contact of the head, the back box wood, against the stainless side.
Because it'll leave a dent.
Yeah.
It'll leave a dent. I can't see it on film, but you can see it.
Oh, that's a minor one.
Yeah.
Some of these are slammed down so hard it binds the glass.
Okay.
There's a latch on the back. Two things about the latch. When you take it off, if you leave it like this and you do the moving of the cabinet job like we showed you,
Yes.
back pivoted down on the furniture glides,
Uh,
the manufacturers made these rails, but it's not enough to keep this from getting bent, even if you position it, because it will open up.
Some
and
people
will
tape it
bend
down,
and
it
will
doesn't-
ruin
does-
it.
yeah.
No, if you tape it down, it's still going to do it. You want to take it off. It has 4 screws. They are fast wood screws. By that I mean they're coarse thread wood screws.
yes.
But anything that's in here that's holding it, you want to take off. All right?
Okay, that's off. We're not setting it on its butt, so that you can. That's fine.
Right.
Same thing down here with your line cord.
This you can leave on, this plate is fine, but this you should take off or you're going to ruin it. That's why this has a new one on, by the way.
Yes, because the old one was a disaster. Okay, so here we go.
If you bend this, you won't be able to latch it like this.
Yes.
This is a secondary safety for your back box.
Well, it's a setup latch, really,
All right.
more than anything.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pivot it down.
Uh-huh.
Now this is free. It does not have hydraulics or anything. You are lowering it.
Yes, okay. There's an idea. Maybe they should come up with that.
Michael. You want to put your padding in the middle of the wood thing here, something
Yes.
like that.
Okay.
Now at this point you can shrink wrap the head to the cabinet.
Okay. And you don't got to wrap the living crap out of it.
No.
Unless you're shipping it across the country, which is different. We're just talking about moving it around.
Right. You want to put about maybe 5-6 rotation
Okay.
circles around it.
We don't need to do that.
Well, the cables are generally contained, so you're not going to, have anything to do back here.
Okay.
And that concludes doing
I would take the
one
line
of
cord
these.
off too.
Now some people don't. Some people will take this and they will shrink wrap it
then when
around
you-
the game.
And then you slide it on the concrete and you ruin your line cord.
Yeah, if you tear your line cord up, then you got to put a new one in. So there is 4 screws. Sometimes they're 1/4 inch, sometimes they're Phillips.
Yeah.
And when you take this plate off, there is a 3-prong detachable cord socket. They're standard. It
Okay.
fits the same on every
There are differences across brands here, though. Some line cords you can just feed in through the hole.
Yes.
Some unplug, but all, or at least almost all of them that I can think of, you can get the cord out of the way.
Right.
So you're strapped together, and then you just pick up what we did on the other one.
Yeah. The difference between this design and the other cabinet design is the manufacturers used to feed the cord out of the top of the machine here. So it didn't come from out of the cabinet. Now they changed that because of the design, and they all come out of the bottom of the cabinet.
Okay.
Whether you can put it in the cabinet or detach it is immaterial. They all come out of the cabinet.
That was complete, was it not? It's strapped together, you take the
Yes.
legs off, somebody's holding it,
Yeah.
you set it down because it's one solid
Now, at
piece.
this point, do not forget to shrink wrap this because it's going to be too late.
Okay, do not use ratchet straps. Don't
No.
use ratchet straps. Don't do it.
It's quicker. It's only you're throwing all your retainment into one device. If it fails,
You're
for
gonna
some
leave- yeah,
reason,
you're gonna
most
leave
of the
marks
time, you
on
know
it
what
and-
happens? They slide off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost done because the only thing that would be different now would be this.
And bungee cords, by the way.
Yes, don't use those either. Shrink wrap, where do you get shrink wrap at? Uline.
Lowe's,
Home Depot, wherever.
Anywhere.
Okay.
It's universally everywhere. Ace Hardware. Don't go to.
Yeah, don't go there though. Leave that place.
They won't have it. If they have it, it'll
You
be bad.
might catch something.
Next generation machines and
Daddy's.
Data East started using it. They actually probably were the first to do it. They use a 5/16. This is an L wrench, but you could use anything you want. It's 5/16. But this
L
is
wrench.
what the tool looks like.
Yeah.
They use no bolts inside because this device they're using is the sole retaining device. Do you have one? No, you don't have one, do you? You don't have one. Do you? He has one.
What am I
Dude.
looking at here?
Yeah, he has one. He has one. Look at that. Look.
There it is.
This is what it is. It's upper lower part are bolted to the cabinet, and it is a 180 turn cam. This is the receiver part. The cam part is in here, which is the important part. Well, they're both important to you. This is what the device looks like. And you rotate it 180 and it locks on. It won't go any further.
Yes.
And it's not only it's offset cam, so it pulls tighter as you go.
No.
That's how this works.
And it does get it hits a stop, so you know when you're tight.
Yeah, you can't go all the way around.
So that's nice.
That's
and,
what this looks like.
And other than that, all the other steps are identical.
Correct. That's right.
That's the whole thing. And we got it in under 45 minutes.
I shoot for 15, but you knew that one.
Jesus.
It's
Thank
not
you.
my fault. I didn't do it.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you much.
We're glad to be back with you, and we appreciate your support. And got anything else to add this week?
No, we'll be back next week.
Man, I'm done. We'll see you next week. Thanks,
Yes.
everybody.